Um, so today we're just gonna be working on fixing some pretty minor bugs, I'd say. We're basically done with all of our UI stuff. I think I can leave it until it's fine for the Kickstarter. Oh, there's one other thing that we need to add, and that's the mouse input settings. But I'll do that. I don't feel like doing that today. Let's see. Honestly, yeah, maybe we will do it today. It's not too hard. Depends on how much we get done. In terms of the gameplay, quote unquote, bugs that we have, and one of those bugs include, or a few of those bugs include, mouse input. When we dash, our mouse input has a timer on it, and the timer I think does work, but the only issue is that the dash input timer only starts after you've already dashed. So I'm clicking, and my dash input is registered until I dash. So if I were to click dash input while I don't have a dash, the next time my dash becomes available, I will automatically dash it. We don't want that to happen. So we're gonna fix that. That's going to be in. Well, let's see. Let's open up our player here. So in our player input function, we have left click, and on left click, or if left click or activate, we put activate input actuation equal to true, and we also set left click input to equal true. Otherwise, active input actuation is equal to false. The only issue is that I think, there's nowhere where we set left click input equal to false, and we're probably going to want to put this in our timer, same place where we set activate input actuation equal to false. Let's see. Let's see. So we only set left click input equal to false after we've already dashed. Oh, and it is in our timer. So I wonder why this isn't running. Maybe we're not running. We're not technically running this in our input function. So we'd want to put this into our controller logic right here. But it's funny, we do have it set right here. If activate input actuation or left click input, activate input is equal to true, and then activate input timer dot start. So let's look at activate. Let's do this. Let's get rid of all of these print statements. And activate input. Activate input should equal false, and left click input should equal false, which they do. So I'm wondering. Yeah, and then we run timer ran out. Let's look at activate input timer really quick. Activate input timer. Yeah, we have it set to 0.15 seconds. Let's see. Yeah, timer timed out. But let's see. About to start timer. Okay, so whatever that is. About to start timer. Okay, so here. If activate input actuation. Oh. So at this point, we want to make sure that we're setting. Yeah, we didn't go about this correctly. What we should do is similar to activate input actuation, or yeah, similar to like jump input actuation. We should set this to false almost immediately. Oh. We should set this to false immediately. But then we're also going to need like, so we have left click input. Maybe we should do like left click actuation or something like that. And then set it to false and then have this timer run. I'm trying to think what would be like the best way to go about this though. You could just do like left click actuation. It should be fine. Let's do that right now. So we'll go into like, what do we call these? Input, controls. We don't have anything. Var input, var, grab input, left click input right here. So we'll do var left click actuation is equal to false. I think that'll be fine. Let's see. Let me back everything up really quick. Okay, so let's go back into input and am I blind? Left click. Okay, so right here we're doing if activate or if left click. We're going to do yeah, we'll do left click actuation. It's equal to true. And now I'm thinking if left click isn't like we have this if statement checking for either one of these two. Which is technically not ideal. Technically, I think if the player were to press the dash button or the left click like simultaneously, it could end up in a bug. Left click actuation is equal to true. Oh, we do have this right here. So let's actually get rid of that. Activate input actuation is equal to true. Left click actuation is equal to true. We'll comment this out. And then what we'll do here, I mean, honestly, yeah, we could do it here. Left click actuation. Is equal to false. And then in our controllers, in our controller logic, we'll just say left click actuation is if activate input actuation or left click actuation, activate input is equal to true and left click input. We should just keep it left click or maybe left click activate or something like that, but we'll just leave it like this for now. Left click input is equal to true. And that, I think that should be it. We still have our timer here. And our left click input sets this to true. So yeah, we should be fine. And now this will only run once. So now if we were to spam it, yeah, it's fine here. Let's see. So we dash, I'll spam it again, we'll drop down. It's fine. So there's no like delay for this, which I think, I mean, should be fine. We don't really need a timer for this type of input. It'd be like just, I don't know, super responsive. Left click is to dash, but it depends on what you're using. So if you're it depends on like we have a whole controller and key binding setting. So it really depends on what the player wants to use. I've gotten so much feedback on like what people prefer to use for input. I personally like using I prefer using a controller, like an Xbox controller. And then when people use a keyboard and mouse, I've noticed that people have a hard time dashing in different directions with a keyboard. So that's why I implemented the mouse movement. And you can even manipulate this however you want. But yeah, how I have it working is your dash direction is relative to where your mouse is compared to your player. So yeah, jumping is spacebar, and dashing is left click, and grabbing, you could change these inputs, but right now grabbing is left click. Right click. So the next thing that we want to fix, let's see. Well, I should try sharing this window, but I don't think I can. Let me see. No, there's no way to share this window. Unfortunately, we'll share my screen at the moment. You got filtered for saying foot pedal. Interesting. I guess I don't even know. Is that like a sexual innuendo or something? Who knows? Alright, so we have our dash spam issue. That was technically the issue that we had. So we can comment that out or just cross it out. And margin of error for entering slide state. This is something that we have to fix. And check for bugs on easy mode. Mouse dash used. Hit spring. Oh yeah, this was the original bug. Oh, and thanks for the follow in just 90. Coyote jump on wall. This right here, I'm not entirely sure what's causing this bug. Wait, we can try simulating it, but I honestly don't know how it happens sometimes. We do need coyote jumps. Let me try changing our difficulty to easy. Maybe it'll be easier to see. But yeah, I've seen it from time to time where we'll enter a coyote jump after exiting the wall, which makes sense because sometimes we do need it, but sometimes it just doesn't look right. Hey, how's it going, Skull? I'm doing pretty well. I actually didn't want to stream today because I did want to work on the Kickstarter page, but I just thought I might as well keep up the habit of streaming. So here we are, and we still have some bugs to fix, so we're good. Yeah, I'll ignore this for now because I honestly I've seen it, but I don't know when it happens. It might be maybe for specific rooms or while we're in easy mode. Oh, and yeah, this is also another issue. When we're in the yeah, streaming is kind of tough to feel out when to stream and when to not. So for me personally, like I do like to stream around this time, or I used to stream like maybe 2 hours earlier. Like right when usually when I wake up is when I start streaming. Or I mean like I'll brush my teeth or make some tea right here, clean my room a bit, and then I'll start streaming. I like starting my day like that, but I also like starting my day with doing like tasks that I hate, which is like administrative stuff. So that includes like maybe building the Kickstarter page and stuff like that. Because I know if I stream right now, or like usually if I stream, I'm most productive in the morning. So it might be best if I do the things that I hate in the morning rather than the things that I like. Because I do enjoy streaming. I do like programming. So yeah, maybe we should start with like the most boring stuff and then do the fun stuff. But also, it's pretty easy for me to start a stream. At least for me, because like if I want to get something done, I'm just like, you know what? Let me just start a stream, and I know like I'll keep on working no matter what. Like if I wasn't streaming, I'd probably like work on this. I'd fix this bug, and then I'd be like, hey, all right, it's time to stop working on my game. But because like either people are watching or I don't know, like the pressure of people seeing me work makes me want to do more work. Is Clear Summer just entertainment oriented? I didn't know that. I mean, maybe. Like, I guess the people that I follow on like Twitch, they're usually working on like hardcore projects, for the most part. But I could see some people just doing it for fun, like I don't know, like showing like a cool mechanic or messing around, making little progress. Yeah. I'd say honestly, the majority of my progress has been made on stream. Like I think I've streamed almost this entire game dev experience. At least the development of this game. I started out I was actually streaming on Reddit at some point, or like in the earlier stages of this game. It was only recently that I switched to Twitch. Oh, and Skull, I forgot to see your message. You're most productive in the morning. You can stream whenever you feel like it. I find your streams really relaxing, and I get new ideas and learn from. Thanks, Skull. Thank you. I appreciate it. Pretty sick, and sadly couldn't work that much today on my game, but hopefully I'll get better. Yeah, it's okay to take breaks, I took a break from this game for like almost like 5 days. After I released that demo, I was for some reason I just didn't want to touch this game anymore until 2 days ago. Elite coders, yeah, I've seen people coding in. Yeah, I've actually seen some leak coders, and I remember like I actually I was a little heartbroken when I rated a leak coder and he didn't even respond to me. He didn't even acknowledge me. Not that I'm expecting the acknowledgement, but like he wasn't even trying to like see other people, like I guess entertain. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just really busy. I haven't heard of Jonathan Blow though. There's this other guy that I started watching recently. His name is Finite Singularity. I think he's pretty cool. Like his streams are very entertaining, but he also does a lot of work on his stream. Like he's like he has the best of both worlds. Like his stream is entertaining from like what he's coded into like his into like I guess his OBS like plugins or whatever, and he's also doing a lot of work. Jonathan Blow has made the Witness and Braid. The Witness and Braid. I've never heard of that. Check it out. Don't dox me, people. Usually, I should be clicking on this, and I should open this window before I start the stream. Witness and Braid. He made this on stream? Oh, the Braid at the Witness, I see. Oh, this game! I think I remember seeing this game. Did GMTK make a video on this? Game Maker's Toolkit, I mean? And the Witness. I haven't seen this one, but it also looks like a pretty. Oh wow, is this game a solo development game? 'Cause that is very impressive. These numbers. It's all programs. Is he? What I mean is he the only one developing this? Publisher, I mean, number one and Thekla Inc. But it might be his. This might be his own brand. Let's see. Yeah, I think it might be his own brand. I think when he had a team. I see. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I mean, it's still impressive even if he had a team. Even for my game, I mostly develop the game myself, but for things that I can't do, I usually I've hired people for the art and stuff, or I'll download stuff online. Yeah, that's basically what I do too. I do the programming and the level design, and then the rest of the game is I'll pay someone for the art, or I haven't hired anyone for music. I usually just find public domain music, or even these the UI buttons and stuff are public domain. Most of the sounds are public domain. I recently paid for a sound pack that I really like for the UI. So yeah, I still consider this game to be made by myself. I did make this game by myself, but yeah, I did hire people for the background stuff, the player, yeah. Yeah, that is actually the best way to go about it. It's hard to find people that are interested in your project long term. The best thing you want to do is just build your project, find free assets. If you don't have the money, I didn't have the money when I first started. I kind of just built. Yeah, it was a very simple project. I can even show you what it looked like from the start. Let me see if I can find it. Pitch. And as it grew, I did make posts on Reddit and stuff for people to find my game, or people to help me out. But a lot of the time now, people just come up to me, which it feels kind of cool that people would contact me for my game, or to help with my game. It shows how much progress was made. Oh, not itch. I meant Instagram. It's also on my Reddit, but I have so many posts on my Reddit that. Oh my god, are they gonna make me sign in? Here, let's just go back. Instagram. Give me 1 second. It's taking so long to load. Hey, how's it going, Waffle? So, Instagram doesn't seem to like me because I can't. Oh, there we go. So yeah, this is what the game used to look like in the very, very early stages. Yeah, it's crazy. Like people do come up to you a lot faster when you've put in the work. Or like, it's kind of like your portfolio or your resume, or what is it, CSV as people call it outside of the United States. Um, yeah, as long as you have like, you can show, like, no one really contacted me when it was in these early stages, or like even when it was here, like even this didn't look that impressive. It wasn't until Honestly, it wasn't until now that I started getting people to contact me. But yeah, the game is a lot better. Like the art is a lot more impressive now. And I've invested some money into the game as well. I mean, like paying for the art, paying for the sounds. So yeah, it's a lot more polished. People can see that, and so people want to be a part of something that is like, I guess, more successful. Maybe I don't know like the correct terminology, but yeah, if people see that you've been, well, when people see the amount of time that you spend on this game, or like, that I stream almost every day. And then they can see the code, and so like yeah, you're getting immediate. Yeah, I've met some really cool people from streaming actually. Most of the people that I would consider like a part of like the game's like core community is like people that I've met on stream, or like even before that. Like we have like a Discord called Solo Development, and the person who I run it with is actually someone who I met through a stream. So it's kind of cool. You meet other people who are like, in love with game dev. What's funny is that like people think that it's kind of like I mean, technically it is kind of like marketing. But it's also, like for the most part, it's other game devs who watch you stream. So it's kind of like it is a little weird, but I guess you take what you can get, right? And I mean, if I'm streaming, I might as well talk to other game devs. Yeah, exactly. It's organic marketing, but it's also, I don't like to. I wouldn't want to say I treat it like marketing, because it's like, yeah, it's more chill than that. I'm not like trying to get views or anything like that. Or I also don't post anything like, hey, donate to my stream. Like I do this on my own accord. So yeah, there's one other bug here, and that's, oh, not here. Honestly, we could throw the difficulty settings in our options menu as well. I do like the difficulty like UI here. Maybe we'll keep this for like when you start the game, but then if you wanted to change the difficulty, you could just do it in the options menu. Yeah, and I mean, one thing that's really inspiring is if you've heard of, one of my friends recently, I knew a little bit about it, but he sent me like this video about the guy who created Dwarf Fortress, which is like, I think the game is fully free, but I think they do plan on charging for the new updated Steam version. But yeah, he's been working on that project for like, 20 years now, and he's always released the game for free, and he did accept donations, but for the base game, like it was all free. And it's kind of inspiring because like, I would love to have the ability to like work on this game for a long period of time, not have to worry about money, but like I don't really care for the money as long as it's like self-sustaining. And that's why I'm going to charge for this game. But for like people that want to play the game or like are interested in the game, I'm probably just gonna release it for free. Well, I am going to release it for free, not probably. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Accept donations for the game and not for the stream. The stream is more for me than for the people. So yeah, let's look at the difficulty. Oh, and Skull, you said keep the difficulty UI through the game because they struggle on a part. They can just turn the game on easy and then go to the normal difficulty. I see. I was also thinking that well, once we start creating achievements, they should be able to like Nightmare would be locked. I think if they were to switch back. Although easy, the thing is easy is 0.8 speed, and that, I feel like that's way too slow. So maybe they can switch between the three, but the achievement, for you to get the achievement of beating the game in Nightmare, you would have to keep it on Nightmare the entire playthrough. Once you accept money for the game or for streaming, you become a streamer and not a game dev. I see. I think I have accepted. I know I've definitely accepted money from people who really wanted to pay me, which I completely appreciate. But yeah, I never asked for it. Oh yeah, so yeah, this is the bug. You can see that let's say I wanted to jump to this side right here. There's this weird. You can see that well, one, we enter the coyote jump from time to time, and two, we don't reach our full jump. So this is what a full jump is supposed to look like. Oh wait, yeah, that's what a full jump is supposed to look like. But in the slower version of the game, if I were to hold onto this wall and jump, we miss it for some reason. I think what's happening here is that our raycast, and I'll try this one more time. I'll jump, and if we look at the UI on the bottom here, let me shrink this screen a bit. Usually I actually bring it down like that, and our Godot window should look like that. So you can see we go from the slide to the fall to the climb. Wait, actually, that is correct. Let me see. So we're in the climb. I jump. Yeah, so we're going from the climb to the fall to the. Yeah. It's kind of bugged. Wait. Let me try this one more time. I do it down here so we don't see anything. So we go from the climb to the jump, and then immediately from the from the jump we go to the slide, and then back to the fall, then to the climb, to the fall. So it's switching back and forth. And the reason why that's happening, well, one, we should have a timer that checks after we've exited the climb state. We should make sure that we can't enter the slide state until 0.2 seconds or something like that. That way we don't get caught. Because every time you enter the slide state, we set our X motion back to 0. And that's what pauses our player. And then from the slide, we have to make sure that we're moving again. But then that also cancels our jump input. So it's it's a back and forth of messing up our input. So we'll fix that pretty soon. But yeah, on the topic of streaming, I think we're all on the same page. I think most people, most logical people, are on the same page when it comes to if they're truly passionate about their game or their project. They care more about their project or living a certain lifestyle rather than just making money. But money is also very nice. Okay. You want to make games and not sit in front of a camera and talk about nothing. I wonder if that's what I'm doing. Am I talking about nothing? So, I mean, for me, usually I don't think I'm trying to entertain other people. It actually bugs me when someone says I don't know, I've had it from time to time where people tell me, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you look at my I don't know, whatever. I try not to do that unless unless it's on my own accord, Like if I'm talking to someone and they have a game or something and I want to check it out, I would do that on stream. But yeah, for the most part, I do what like I consider to be entertaining for me, which is like talking to people and coding at the same time. It makes it less boring, But yeah, let's look at the control. What would this be? This would be technically in our state logic, but we are going from the climb state to the jump state, and I don't think we have like a climb delay. Let's see. Yeah, we have a jump window, pre-jump window, wall. So yeah, this is what's messing us up, the wall lock timer. Technically, this would be like a wall lock timeout timer. But yeah, it doesn't seem like we have a climb delay. I think that's what we'll call it, like a enter climb delay or like enter climb timer, something like that. Kid level devs. What's considered a kid level dev? What mouse? What keyboard and mouse do you have? That's funny. All right, let's create another timer. We'll call this climb. Oops. Re-enter climb delay timer. I think that's what we'll call it. Actually, we'll just call it enter climb delay timer. And this will be a one shot, and we'll probably keep it at like 0.2 or 0.15 seconds. That's usually what we use. I see. Yeah, I think if you're like a new it's like I don't know, like a catch-22, that sort of deal where it's like either you're too nice on stream because you don't have too many followers, or once you get like a decent amount of followers, like let's say you're in the 50s. I mean, sorry, not followers, like 50 viewers or like maybe even 1,000 viewers, like. You can see the attitude of popular streamers compared to like the underdogs, and you can see like the popular streamers are kind of dicks to like. It's weird. They're like kind of dicks to everyone because they just like they put themselves on this high horse. So I feel like you have to like keep yourself in check. Like one, you need to make sure you're not like being a pushover for a lot of these people, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're not being like kind of a dick. Because yeah, like it's usually, I mean, the gaming streamers, you can see like, I mean, maybe it's because they have so many viewers that they deal with a lot of people who are like childish or assholes or something like that, or like they're bullies. So they like they build themselves this like I don't know defense mechanism for themselves where they're like now they just treat all of their viewers like shit except for the ones who donate. But yeah, I've noticed it with the popular streamers that they're kind of mean. Hopefully that never happens to me. Maybe it's not in their control, It could happen to anybody. Yeah, having mods would help a lot too. Or having mods, like, it's weird. Like, I never want to be mean to anyone, but like if someone is like, not bothering me, but like, if someone keeps like asking me, let's say someone keeps asking me to play their game or something like that, like that can get annoying pretty quick. And it's nice to have someone like you had several mods. If you were popular enough, you would have mods, or maybe you could like pay for a mod, and you'd be like, hey, like, you got to go through the mod before you can get to me, that sort of deal. All right, what we're doing, I already forgot. Oh yeah, we're gonna enter climb delay. So let's add this signal. Put it right there. And what this signal is going to do, I don't know if we're gonna add another variable. Let me see. Var. It's gonna be like wall climb, like enter wall climb. We have wall jump, close to wall, hold wall, recently moved. So yeah, we have all of these variables for wall climb, moving on climb. But yeah, nothing that says var. We can say var can enter climb. I think that's what we'll call it for now. And we'll say this is false, or actually no, this is true by default. Usually you will be able to enter the climb, but in our exit climb state, we're going to say that this is equal to false. So whenever you exit climb, we'll set this to false, and then on this time, we'll say can enter climb is equal to true. You need a minimum of 50 consistent viewer stream. Yeah, I don't get anywhere close to that. One time I got rated by a really what I would consider a really popular streamer, and they rated with like 40 something viewers. It was crazy. That was like the most I've ever received. On average, I think it's like around. Oh well, on Twitch, you're on Twitch right now. I actually don't get too many viewers on Twitch. It's usually YouTube that's like my most popular, which is not even that much more popular. But like especially in the earlier stages, it's always like 0 people on Twitch and then like 4 or 5 people on YouTube. But Twitch is, I think Twitch is like consistent. It has been consistently growing. So we'll see with time. Just need to keep doing it. All right, so can enter climb is equal to true on this timeout. And then what we'll do on our exit state for the climb state. Exit climb. We'll say exit climb or can enter climb. So actually, this is can enter slide or can enter climb. We would want to do both. This would be false. And then we want to start our timer here. What do we call it? Enter climb delay. We should add this as a variable. But now I'm thinking we go from the climb to the jump to the slide. It could be either or though. Like right now it's saying climb to slide, but it could be either. So we'll just leave it like that. No, let's name it to slide. Can enter slide. Ooh. Haven't tried YouTube yet. You might as well. I'm using Restream, so like I can stream both. Like I'm multi-streaming right now. It does. There are some issues with it. Like Streamlabs doesn't work perfectly if I'm using Restream, but that's okay. Yeah, for sure. Every social media has an algorithm. That's actually something that I studied a bit. It's called like this is mainly for search engines, like SEO and stuff. Search engine optimization. If you can figure out like what you're like, the title of your stream. Like right now, I'm working on like polishing stuff. Like honestly, if I wanted to get better with like my algorithm, I would probably want to say like coding in GD script, working on freaking UI container. I don't know. Like you'd want some like keywords in there. I don't know how well it works for Twitch. But yeah, you would want something along those lines of like useful information in the title of your stream. But I also don't want to I don't want to technically exploit it. Like I'd rather if I'm doing that thing, I will put that in the title. But otherwise, like if I'm just like right now, I'm not really trying to inform people. Like if someone has a question, I'll answer it. But for the most part, I'm just like I'm answering. I'm having a conversation with you guys. Like it feels like I'm talking to you guys first, and then I'm programming second. But that's just me. Like I find it fun that way. So let's go back into where is it? Where did we name it? Can enter bar can enter climb. We call this slide. And then what we'll do in our stay logic so actually we have to do this for all of our states, for all checks of our states. So like this is usually going to happen only in the jump state and the fall state. So let's look at, technically the bounce as well. But for now, in the fall state, whenever, it's weird. We have this can slide. Let me see something. What is can slide? If previous state was equal to grab, can slide is equal to false. And then we have the slide timer. It's weird. Grab is, I think maybe at a certain point we used grab as our climb state, but it's not, it's technically not used anymore. So we might just get rid of this. Let me see our slide timer. Slide timer. Yeah, okay, yeah. So originally we said can slide is equal to, so yeah, we could use can slide. Yeah, we might just do that. Let's just make sure that this is happening from the climb state. So we're going to want to copy this here. Let's cut this. We'll put this right here. Slide timer. We'll copy this, and let's just make sure that it's in our climb state here. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll also want to make sure, it depends on what state that we're in. So like if we're going from the slide state to the climb state, even though can slide, if previous state was climb, it should be fine. Yeah, hit the what you call junk articles. For the most part, they're like AI written articles, like people who have like scraped the internet for like the top, the articles that are already reaching the top, for like the query that you have, and then they're just rewriting it with AI and then posting the information. And because their quote unquote SEO is a lot more, it's a lot more optimized than the website that already has the information. Google is going to optimize putting that information first instead of like, let's say let's say if you're looking for something in Godot, it would put that article instead of the docs. Or like usually what I do to index, like if I'm like, I use Reddit a lot, and like Reddit is kind of bad at indexing their own stuff. So usually I go on Google, and you could either do site reddit.com and then your query, and then it'll show you the search results for that. Or you can just do, like, I mean, technically you don't have to do site : you could just say Reddit, and usually the first the first result is Reddit, but then the second result is going to be an article that says top Reddit responses for your question, and then it's a website that like literally just copied and pasted information from Reddit and put it on their website, and it's like, yeah. Or, you know, like, let's say you do top movies on Reddit. There's going to be a website that says what are the top movies according to Reddit, and something like that. It's like, that's not what I'm like. I'd rather just go on Reddit. DuckDuckGo helps, but it isn't perfect. Yeah, I feel like Google has its flaws, but but DuckDuckGo is like, I don't know, Google is just such a powerful search engine that you're going to find way more results, and usually you're going to find better results compared to DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo, obviously, your information is kept more private, although didn't they get like bought out recently? Not sure, but I feel like I've heard of that. You have to use both. Yeah, using both would probably be best. Like, if you're looking for certain types of information. Especially for images, Google dominates. I see. Alright, so we already have this can slide state, or can slide variable. We just need to make sure that, I'm actually curious. We go from the, let me look at our can slide timer again. Oops. Timeout slide timer and slide is equal to true. You know, it's weird. Actually, did we mess this up? This is like just wrong here. Here, let's what is going on here? Okay. Slide timer. Let's delete this. Connect it again. We'll say can slide. Can slide. Ooh. It's equal to true. So yeah, this should work. You know, maybe that's what our issue was, because the function right here is just wrong, like the func timer. I don't know if I just did that or if that was like a bug that we had recently. So let's test it out. See if anything changes. Let's go into easy. Oh my god, yep, that was the issue. Our timer for that I'm assuming that was the only issue. Yeah, for some reason, that function was just named weirdly, so the signal didn't connect properly. So yeah, we did code this a while back, and I guess somewhere along the lines, I must have accidentally touched that function. But yeah, we're good now, it seems. Trying to see if there are any other bugs. Alright, so yeah, we didn't even need that timer. So we can get rid of this. Let's delete, what did we call it? Enter climb delay timer. We can delete that. What's the difference? On screen is not noticeable. So originally it was a bug where basically what this can slide timer variable does, or can slide variable does, is it makes sure that you can't enter the climb state immediately after exiting the climb. It's done via a timer. Honestly, another thing that we could have done was just make sure that it's ideal to put it in the climb state or in a timer, because let's say this was false, or like let's say we didn't have this variable here. The second you would jump off a wall, our raycast on the player would hit the wall again, and it would say, "Hey, let's enter the slide state again," because there's still collision between the player and the raycast. So yeah, that's why we have that variable there. So then, in our slide state, or in order to enter the slide state, we need to make sure that this variable is equal to true. And the second you enter, or the second you exit the climb state or the slide state, honestly, what we should also do is put this into the climb state, technically. Let's do that now. It still worked, but I think we should have like some, I guess, extra reassurance that when you exit the climb state, can slide should equal false. And wait, maybe we already did that? Let me see. Oh yeah, can slide is equal to false, and slide timer, we start this timer. So yeah. Yeah, no problem. So let's see, what else do we have to do? Margin of error, so we can fix this. Climb state on easy mode cancels jumps. Okay, so we can, originally I thought it was an issue with our raycast, but it was just an issue that our timer wasn't working properly. Coyote jump on wall climb. I haven't seen this bug happen in a while, so maybe we fixed it accidentally, but I'm gonna leave it here just in case we ever experience it again. Check for bugs on easy mode, that's what we've been doing. Indicator reference, I think I fixed, but I'm going to, I'll double check that later. And then margin of error when entering the slide state. So if you've playtested the game before, you might have noticed that sometimes when we're entering like a jump here, or entering a jump and then we enter the slide state, sometimes you'll be like a pixel away from the wall. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to get it. Yeah, like right there. Like if right here. Technically we're not as close, and we do get pushed, it seems. Let me see. I forgot how I coded this. I'm trying to see. So like yeah, right here you can see we're not nearly as close. If I were to press D right now, we wouldn't get closer. But yeah, it's like a little too far for my liking. Like I would like for the input to always be the same. Let's see if we can, yeah, like right here, this is way too far. And so one thing that we could do is either we want to push the player all the way to the right when this happens, or we should increase the raycast size. So like right now it's 2 pixels. We could decrease it to 1 pixel, but the only issue with 1 pixel is that sometimes you might wonder why like you're not entering the climb state. Like the margin of error is too much, and that's technically what I did. Like the margin of error for entering the slide state, sometimes the player is too far. So either we want to keep this margin of error, so like either we want to keep it as 2 pixels, or we keep it as 1 pixel. But yeah, it might be harder with 1 pixel. But what we can do is on this raycast, we could check the distance between the raycast and the player, and if that distance is 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess if it's above 5 pixels, we'll want to make sure that we push them to the right one more, or to the left one more, or whatever. Or just make sure that the distance between the player and the wall is 5 pixels. Basically just push them until this part of their collision is touching. So we'll see. I actually like that method more rather than decreasing the like the margin of error or like the raycast size. How we'll go about it though is another question. Either we can push the player, or we could set like a specific distance. So what we'll do right now is we'll grab one of these raycasts and we'll see the distance to the player, or maybe just since this is already at the origin, we can just check the distance from here to the wall. So let's go into next to wall. No, next to wall. We'll do it in next to right wall for now. I don't think we use this anymore. The wall tile 0. This was, I remember I wanted to add like slime walls, but and I did, but it didn't look good. So we might just remove that. And I think, yeah, we technically did remove it. If it's next to a tile map. So I think we don't use any of this. Let me try commenting that out. leave it like that for now. Let's say for the right wall, let's just get the distance too. So right middle raycast, we'll say, and we'll just put it, actually we'll just put it right here. Right middle raycast node dot get collider. Let's actually see. I think there is a raycast distance. I'm pretty sure. Oops. Remove is colliding. We can get collision point. I wonder if there's like a distance. No, but we can get the collision point and I guess check that distance too. So we'll say get collision point, dot get collider, or dot get collision point. And we want to grab the distance to this. So we'll say, for now, yeah, we'll say right middle raycast dot global position distance to this, and we want to print this. Collision raycast distance. Oops. Okay, raycast distance, right floor, okay. Whoa, why are we like zooming? Can we put this on? What did I do? Was it always this fast? I don't think so. Wait, let me see something. Oh, we do set wall tile to equal 0, and I guess we are using wall tile. Honestly, let me see. So by default, we set wall tile equal to null. We're going to set it to 0 for now. There we go. Okay, so we can see the distance. By default, it should be 6.5, and then, yeah, it's 6.5, like, you see on the bottom, it's a little, it's not like a exact number. Let me see here. Sometimes it changes. 6.5. So yeah, right now it's 6.574 or whatever. We want it to be exactly, I guess, 6.5. That's the distance that we want. So either we set this distance, like we can do this on entering the climb state or entering the slide state. I'm trying to think what's the best way to go about it. If next to wall, yeah, we could put like a for loop in here and just say like if distance, like while distance is less than 6.5, or while distance is greater than 6.5, we'll set it to whatever. I'm trying to think though. We could honestly clean this up a bit. We'd probably create a new function for this as well. It had a delay before sliding like that too. You mean like, yeah, we would go into the motion of the player would be the motion on the velocity on the y-axis would be get set to 0, which I think still happens. Let me see. It really depends. So yeah, I think it is happening, but it's just super. Whoa. So our mouse input. Oh, okay. So here's another bug. We need to make sure that if we are using the controller, that the mouse input doesn't work anymore. I did have this set up originally, but I didn't include it in the current UI. So we'll work on that afterwards. But let's see. I'm trying to. Yeah, there is a delay. I think it's like 0.1 seconds here. Or maybe there is no delay. But honestly, I don't think it's too much of an issue that there's no delay. Because you can always enter the climb. Oh, what was that? You can always enter the climb state if you want to stop your velocity. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to think. Should we put this in the check for wall, or we could honestly only do this for the slide and climb state. So like while we're in this state, we'll adjust the player's distance. And we only have to run this once, because once you're already in the climb or the slide state, you're locked on the x-axis. So it doesn't matter. Like we don't have to keep running it. So let's just do that. We'll say func adjust player distance. And then we'll say if next to right wall. Wait, let's see. So at the moment, we're saying next to wall, and let me see. So we actually don't have we do have next to right wall or next to left wall, but do we actually set these to true? Doesn't look like it. Next to, let me see, next to right. Well, yeah, so we have a function, and we do have these two variables, but we actually never use them. Honestly, what we could do, maybe we would want to save them. It's also not an issue. We'll just do, we'll just check for next to wall or next to right wall. So let's go back into, what did we call it? Move. Adjust. Just player distance to wall. And we'll just say if next to right wall, we'll grab our middle collider. I think that's the most important one. Technically, we should iterate through all of them, but let's just try it out with the first one. So that was middle right middle raycast node dot get collision point. we'll do global position dot distance to and we're gonna want to actually check this distance. So let's do this. While trying to think, should we set a distance variable? Just do bar. We'll just say this. Honestly, maybe we don't actually have to iterate. I'm trying to think. I was thinking we could do a while distance, or we could, a while function, or we could just move the player that distance to, subtract 6.5 by that distance, and push that difference, like the difference between the player's position and 6.5. Yeah, we'll just push the player there. I think that's probably best. So we'll say this. Our distance is equal to this right here. And then we'll say, so we end up at 6.5.40004 or 4444. I don't know if that's going to be an issue, but for now, let's just say we'll just do player.global position dot x is equal to, or plus equals to this distance minus 6.5. I don't know if that's actually correct. Let me think. We're getting distance 2. And this is an x, so actually we don't need to leave that. Still live. Have I even? I don't think I was streaming for that long. Was I? How long have we been streaming? It's only been an hour and 16. Okay. Let's see. Adjust player distance. So yeah, this technically should work. Maybe we should grab the. It's. I feel like it's always going to be. Like our distance is always going to be greater than 6.5. It seems. So we'll just test it out for the right wall for now. See how that looks. And then we're gonna want to make this happen, I guess, in the in the enter slide state. So let's do this. Enter state. What the hell? our slide. Did we miss it? So yeah, I think we fixed it. The distance. So we are locked on. It still says, for some reason, it still says 6.50004. I guess that's not a problem. It's close enough, right? I do wonder, do we enter the climb state before we enter the slide state? I think usually we enter the slide technically. Let's get rid of that print statement, because we might just want to keep it in the slide state and not the climb state. But let's get rid of, actually, adjust player distance. Let's just do this for the left side as well. If next to left wall, left middle raycast node, left middle raycast node, and this distance is going to equal, well, it's going to be minus equals, that distance minus 6.5. So 6.5, let me just see something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we actually enter right here, apparently. Which is like right where the player's hand is. Technically our hitbox is a little bit further down, but I guess that's not an issue. Although it does seem like we are entering here. Yeah, I'm not even gonna question it. It does work. So we'll leave it like that. Distance is equal to middle raycast. Okay. So this only happens in our slide state. Let me get rid of raycast distance. So yeah, even if we jump into this, you can see we go from the slide to the climb. Even though I'm pressing the climb button at the moment, we're always going to enter the slide state first. So that function to adjust the distance will run, and then we'll do our thing. So yeah, it'll always, actually, let me see something. Let me look at a different wall here. Yeah, so it's fine the way it is. And that's because we have that can slide timer, so it won't happen like immediately. Wait a second. I think the left side. So the right side is fine, the left side is wrong. Let's keep that print statement we had. Here, you know what? I mean, it is like the function is working, but the distance seems to be a little off. So let's just do print distance. So the what the hell? So the distance here is 4.0, and then for some reason, what did we do? Left middle raycast node, left middle raycast. So yeah, the left distance is 4.0. And the right distance is 7. Well, let's try this again. How is this happening? The distance here is 7.6. Let me look at our player. The global positioning of our left middle and wait a second. We might want to refresh this raycast just in case, but let me just see one more thing. Oh, you know what's weird? We put right bottom raycast here to middle raycast. That's why. So this should actually be right middle raycast node. That's why we were getting an issue here. So it might be less than 65. I forgot what our distance was. But we'll see right now. Right middle raycast node to right middle raycast node. Var distance. What's going on here? Expected end statement. Oh. So our typical distance seems like it's 4. It's hard to tell. It's actually, it seems like it's 4. And there we go. So that's more like it. Let's look at the right side. The right side is also around 4. One thing I do want to check for is, let's just look at this one more time. The left side, or yeah, I think that's a little cleaner. So now every time you do a wall jump or anything like that, even if you are a little bit away, there is like some, what's it called? It seems like it's more responsive because you have like a 2 pixel margin of error to make. But then after you make the jump, once you've already entered the climb state or the slide state, you'll be on this wall, and then your jumps will be a lot more consistent for anything else. So like, jumping from here to, let's say you want to jump right there, you can do that. And it'll always be consistent for like every player, no matter like their jump input, or like no matter how they entered this wall, they'll get to this side. You get me? Subtle things like this that like need to be done for the game. I actually really like programming these kinds of things, like making the game like super responsive or like perfect. Even though most people won't notice like this kind of stuff happening in game, it's kind of like my secret, and the people the people who are watching know about it too. So margin of error entering slide state. This is done. Player, someone told me that player dashing up near spike kills you. I haven't seen this happening, so I don't know. Like it might be from just someone else's input, because I've tried to kill the player doing this, and it seems right by me. We can test it out. So yeah, it's like usually here. See, like that technically hit the player. I think what they might have saw was that because your player does teleport a bit. Like, alright. So yeah, they're saying the hitbox for this right here is unfair, but I don't think it's unfair. I'm trying to see if there's ever a moment where I feel like I shouldn't have died. We're getting like really close. Like that's as close as it should get. Yeah, anything closer, yeah, you should have died right there. I guess maybe there's like this little section right, but even then I don't like. You're technically hitting the top of this tile right there, or the top of that spike. So I think it is fair. So I think we're going to ignore it for now. If I get other complaints about that happening, maybe I'll decrease the hitbox on the player's head, or like if they're in the dash state, maybe we'll decrease their hitbox just ever so slightly, like a pixel or 2. But at the moment, I think it's fair. Oh, and another thing that we need to do is make sure that we're capturing the mouse, because at the moment, like sometimes I'll move my mouse outside of the window, and we'll mess up like that. Alright, Skull. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure how long I want to stream today. We'll figure it out. I did want to do some other work, but we'll see. All right. What other bugs do we have? All right. Sounds good, Skull. Let's look here. Let me share my display again. Where the hell? Gameplay issues. Okay, so I think the next thing we're probably gonna work on is the bug between controller input and mouse input. So because we added the mouse input actuation variable, it messes up with our controller now. So whenever I press the dash button, mouse input is set to true, and yeah, that messes us up. So we'll fix that. And then after that, we're gonna work on more of the gameplay settings for the controller, and we just need to make sure that, the gameplay settings for the mouse input. We want to make sure that the player has the ability to either disable the indicator, that like little arrow that follows the player, or have it rotate relative to the center of the screen, or have it rotate relative to the player. By default, I like it to be the player, but some people might prefer having it centered. But I think those people are crazy, in my opinion. But yep, we're trying to develop this game for everybody, so no player left behind. Let's do this. So let me just include that in our, let's just look at it. We can fix this quick. This is, I think we'll put this in gameplay issues or control. Yeah, we'll put this in controller improvements. I'm using sticky notes, like the Microsoft sticky notes. I kind of like it. It does get messy really quick, but it's just so fast. Like, I hate going to Trello and like adding this stuff, because then it feels like I don't know, with Trello, I feel like I'm pretending to be organized. Whereas with this, it's like quick, I can write stuff quick and cross them out quick. It's just hard to some of this stuff is hard to see. What I like to do is bold it so that I can kind of see it better. I wonder if there's a way, if there was a way to edit the color, that'd be awesome. I mean, we could also, no, underlining doesn't do shit. All right, controller improvements. Mouse actuation. Mouse actuation and controller actuation bug, and indicator settings. Those are the two things that we want to fix. And then, was there something else? So another thing that is an issue with the game, and I think it's because of the mouse input, is that it's so the code for it, the mouse input, is a little unorthodox, and I think it's a little ugly as well. I think it might be slowing down the game. I'm not sure, but we'll figure that out pretty soon. I probably actually won't figure that out this stream, but next stream most likely is when that's going to happen. So let's look back at our input really quick. And let's see how we can prevent this from happening. So if activate input or left click, we say activate input actuation is equal to true, and then if left click, then we set left click input actuation is equal to true as well. And then, yeah, that should be the only thing. But then, otherwise, left click actuation is false and activate input is also equal to false. Then if we look at our controller logic, if activate input actuation or left click actuation, left click is set to true automatically. We want to make sure that is false. So what we'll do is, I think we set this to true no matter what, or activate input is set to true no matter what. So what we'll do is we'll just say if left click actuation, yeah, this should be correct. If left click actuation, we'll set this to true. And then activate timer will start. So we can get rid of this. We could just say activate input actuation. Let me just make sure that I am not lying to you or lying to myself. Yeah, activate input is always set to true. So we run this again. Let's just make sure. Yeah, okay. And originally we had this arrow disappear. Hey, how's it going, Adam? Welcome, welcome. The arrow used to disappear, and I think it does disappear in the current version that's on itch, but right now you can see it's still following the player. If we go into, I think this was originally in our display settings, but since we've redone everything, this doesn't work. So I'm thinking, I mean, we have key bindings and then controller. We could technically put it down here into key bindings, or we could have like a gameplay setting. Damn. Adam, just as you join, the 69 mega bot joins. Is that a coincidence? So I might have missed what you said. Report 69 mega, yep. All right. Let's see here. So we can't really put it in the key bindings. I'm thinking we'll have a gameplay setting, or we could put it in display. We could put gameplay settings here and then change this to display, and then we'll have a gameplay setting as well for the mouse. Maybe that's the best way to go about it. So let's do that. Let's go into our display settings. Well, now maybe we should rename this to gameplay settings. You hate bots? And you'll hate me, because I'm a bot. We'll call this display. And what else do we want to do? We want to create another section here. We'll call this mouse settings, maybe. And we'll duplicate this because I think that's how we set it up. We'll call this center mouse. Oops. Center mouse. Center mouse by default should be set to true, and then what's the other one that we want? Oh, hide mouse, hide dash indicator. Center mouse, hide dash. So I think this is where we set up the script for them. But I lied. This is not where we set the script for them. So let me look at our original, what was it called? Key binding. I think it was called keyboard bindings UI. So over here we had this mouse input, and what we did was we just put it into the script, and we said canvas node.grabUI.show keyboard, or for mouse centered, we just said global.mouse position indicator.set centered, all of this stuff right here. I think what we'll do is we'll just throw this all into the, I'm trying to think what would be best, because we could just throw this all into the checkbox, but it could get ugly pretty quick. But I'm thinking we are not going to have too many checkboxes in our game. So maybe we could just leave it the way it is. Designing an anti-bot thing in Godot. Well, pretty cool. What sort of like anti-bots for what? Like your streams or something? Or how would it work? And you're making a save system. That's pretty cool too. I'm glad you were able to figure it out. If you have figured it out. It's done finally. So yeah. So what we'll do here is I think we're gonna, I'm wondering, so we could technically just throw this into the display settings, but I might just put it, I'm just gonna put it in the checkbox. So this is for mouse centered. I think what we're going to do is actually create a function for this instead, just to make our life easier. I'll throw it in the middle. Actually, no, yeah, let's throw it down here. So we'll just Control V this, and we'll say this is for the mouse centered function. Mouse centered function. Mouse centered. Oh my goodness. I need to learn how to spell. Pressed, button pressed, if this, if that, whatever. And then what we'll do is in our ready function, I'm trying to think, do we want to grab the values from here, or do we want to grab it? Like, it really depends. I think for now, let's just write it only for our toggle for now. And by default, I'll just set like certain variables, set to true. So show depths, or sorry, mouse centered. That was the name that we gave it. This manages, get name. So yeah, we called it mouse centered, I believe. Oh, center mouse. Center mouse by default will be false. So we'll just say on toggled, we'll just match button pressed. So mouse Call this center mouse function. Func center mouse of button pressed. Hey, how's it going, Juho? Yeah, it has been a while. What you been up to? So yeah, center mouse is true by default. So the issue is that every time we enter our options menu, we're creating a new instance. So we need to make sure that this value, it grabs whatever that value was. Global center mouse is already set to false here. So what we can do is we're just going to create a center mouse section here. And what we'll say is, was it toggled? Pressed. Yeah, pressed is equal to our global center dot center mouse. I've been kind of on a detox and Deletex, the YouTube app. And you've been learning GDScript the last few days. Cool. I think I saw you pretty active on the solo dev Discord, right? I think. Maybe I missaw something, but I remember seeing your name a few times. Your writing skill? It's also my reading skill, so you don't have to worry. We're all good at the things, that we're good at. I don't take pride in my reading skills. The only thing that I'm good at, I think, is, I don't even know, but I think I'm only good at programming. And even that is not even that good. So let's see. Let's look at the... Oh, I see. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, it is pretty helpful to delete social media. I mean, if you have issues with it. Like, I know I've had sleeping issues in the past. I mean, I still do, but like one of the contributing factors is that, like, right before bed, I'm like on my phone, watching whatever, like YouTube shorts or just watching random YouTube videos or watching a movie and stuff like that. Sometimes I have to actively force myself to say, hey, I'm not going to touch my phone and let me just try to go to sleep. And usually I go to sleep literally 5 to 10 minutes after that happens, I fall asleep. All right, so let's do one for our mouse indicator position. Save that. This is going to be another function. Let's just call this mouse indicator. And we'll call this function show mouse indicator, and this will be on button pressed. So yeah, same exact thing, and we'll run show mouse indicator on this right here. And we also want to make sure, actually for this, what we'll say is it's equal to our global. So pressed is equal to, I guess we could do show indicator, global.show indicator. And that is it. Oh yeah, and we also want to make sure that we do it here. So for, what did we call it? Actually, I don't think we even called it center mouse. We actually didn't even, hide dash. Yeah, we called it hide dash for some reason. Let's call it dash indicator. All right, that should be it. We might crash here. I don't know yet. Let's see. Pressed show indicator. We might not crash, but I don't think it works properly just yet. Let's see. So center mouse, we click that. Oh, center mouse works perfectly. If we were to switch to our controller, center mouse still works properly. And then we go into display, let's get rid of center mouse, and let's go to hide dash indicator. Hide dash indicator doesn't work just yet, and that's because, well, it actually does work for our controller. You can see as we switch back and forth, it's fine. Let me see. Oh, okay. So, when we do have this option set to true, it does make it disappear. And then if we show our mouse again, it'll show again. But what we want to make sure of is if this is false, we want to make sure that it does hide for mouse input. But yeah, it's not too bad. But let's change this display to gameplay instead, because that's what it is. All right, so where do we do this? I don't remember. I think this might be in our global function, or it might be in... Okay, so if mouse position indicator does not equal null, if show indicator, which is a variable that we have, if it's set to true, this is when we, I guess, manipulate these values. If there's joypad input, we always set it to false. Otherwise, we set it to true. And then if show indicator... Oh. I'll be right back. No. No. Famous last words. All right. So show indicator. If show indicator is false, setting this to technically this should be false. This should always be false. I'm wondering maybe we should just get rid of all of this. Show indicator should be set to false, and visible should be set to false. And then the only time it should show is if show indicator is equal to true. And set to false again if show indicator is still true and we switch back to mouse input. Yeah, I said I'd be right back. You know, I didn't plan on leaving you guys. All right, so let's see. Yeah, mouse indicator is invisible here. Do we have it set to false right now? So hide dash indicator is not true, and yet it's invisible at the moment. Maybe by default we have it set to false in our global. Let's see. Show indicator right now is just null. So I think what we'll do is show indicator by default we're going to set to true. And mouse position indicator I think is mouse input. I think mouse input should also be true. Actually, I don't think we use mouse input as a variable. And center mouse by default is false, but let's see what happens here. Actually, we might have set it already up. Let me see. Why is the indicator not showing? If mouse position indicator does not equal null, show indicator. If show indicator is equal to true. So show indicator. Why is it set to false almost immediately? Show indicator. Okay, so in our ini file, apparently we already have it set to. Oh, you know, wait, I think maybe we already have it saving to our config file. I remember I did that at some point, but I don't know if it like saved. So if we were to exit right now, let's see if it's saved. Well, we don't even have a save button, so I don't think it would. Yeah. So we don't have a save button. I'm trying to think, because this does run in our ready file. So let me just try setting. After we set game binds, let me say show indicator is equal to true here, and let's just see if that works. Yeah, there we go. So show indicator is true, and if we go into our options, gameplay, hide indicator. So I think we have this set backwards. So maybe we'll just call it show indicator instead of hide indicator. One other thing that we're going to do for our checkbox is, so yeah, at the moment we have our settings saved. Let me just look at our display one more time. So, oops, I did not mean to go to the main menu. So yeah, we usually have like a save button. This is because this uses our ini file, so like we want to export it there. But for the gameplay, it doesn't really matter too much. And originally these two settings were actually in our key binding settings. So maybe we should throw it into our key bindings. Maybe we'll just call this keyboard. Is it possible to change the Godot loading screen to something else? You mean like the splash screen? Yeah, it is possible to change it. I think you can download like some third-party software to do it, or you can just build the Godot engine yourself, and then somewhere in there should be a file to edit. But yeah, it should be possible to change the splash screen. I was actually thinking of doing that to like instead of Godot. Well, it'd still be Godot, but it would be like instead of the Godot logo, it would be like a skull or something, like the logo of my game, or like a combination of the Godot logo and my logo. We'll see. So I do have a company. It's Practical Media. That's my company name, my LLC. So I'll probably use that. But yeah, Practical NPC, Practical Media, whichever one. Okay, so at the moment, this is not saved properly. I think we're gonna leave it the way it is because we're gonna change it eventually. I'm sure of it. Did I create the solo game dev Discord and Reddit? Yeah, I did. That was me. But I had help with people. So like Commodore 64, he's been there. Like he was the first member who joined. He was the he's helped a lot with the server and the subreddit. I'm trying to think. Yeah, we can leave it let's just rename this to show dash indicator instead of hide, since by default there are tons of people there. Yep. Yeah, it's grown. We've had that server for I believe 2 years now. It actually started. Yeah, we're about to hit 2 years. I started that server the subreddit was created in December 2020. December 21st, 2020. I believe. Thank you. Let's see here. Where's the right here? Yeah, December 2020. December 21st, 2020. Started from the bottom. It used to be just me and Commodore. Oh, we hit 11,000 recently. But yeah, it was just me and Commodore for the longest time. Like, can we scroll by like old? I wonder. Oh yeah, this is my post. Some of these are gonna be mine. Yeah, Oh, that was a Drake reference. I didn't know. I'm uncultured. Some of these games are pretty sick. The only issue I have with the subreddit at the moment is that it's become a platform for people just sharing their games, which I understand. But like you see, there's no like actual content around like building games. It's just people sharing their games, which I think is fine. But yeah, it would be cool if it was more of an information hub rather than another marketing hub, so to speak. But marketing is important, so I guess it's good for the little guys. Little guys just want to share their stuff. Um, that's why we're creating the solo development website. So it's pretty small right now. But yeah, Commodore did most of the work for this. But yeah, I've been working on like the resources page and stuff like that. But yeah, we're trying to add like a bunch of information for people to like find their perfect engine or find resources, etc., etc. But yeah, we're probably gonna make this website live sometime next year, probably like in January or February. We've both been like pretty busy lately, so don't know when it's gonna happen. Yeah, it would be cool. So I think eventually we're trying to look for like mods and stuff for the subreddit and the Discord, and we just want to improve the quality. Like I think it's fine if people share their games, but like let's say we go to new, some of these posts are they're not shit posts, but they're like foes hanging. Like I think it should be. Oh, this is like even though I think it's a bad post, I think this is a cool game. It's like very RuneScape-esque with like I think they put like a pixelated shader on the game. Very cool. But yeah, some of these I think are shit. Like, let me see. See, like this is pretty cool, but it doesn't get any upvotes. I'm trying to find like a good example of a shit post without actually like I don't want to criticize anyone too, but let me see if I can find one. Oh, this is Titan's work. Oh wait, I can't log in right now. What's funny is that these posts never get upvotes, which is sad. Like the ones that actually have information on them don't get likes, and it's like the pretty ones that do. But yeah, I can't find any shit posts right now. But yeah, sometimes people post like, "Hey, this is my game, check it out," and then in the comments they're like, "Here's my Steam page. Please wishlist the game," or something like that. Which is like, I understand that they want to, but I wish they put more effort into the post. That way, it doesn't set like a bad name for the game, you know. In my humble opinion. Okay, so I think we have these settings fixed. Indicator and mouse settings are done. Oh, website, that's impressive. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I don't want to take it like I think Commodore did. He definitely did most of the work. But yeah, we kind of had like that. I guess sort of agreement. Like he said, like he was completely fine with that, and I was gonna work on the resources and stuff. So we both had like a job to do. We also had this website at some point. This is where it's going to go live. We do have a website already technically live. I have to pay for the the SSL certificate. So it's not safe to go on, quote unquote, not safe. This is what the site used to look like, and we had like our events saved, like our game jams and stuff. And we did have some resources, but it's not that nice. This was built with This was actually built with WordPress, which was fine. I think it is fine still, but Commodore wanted to build the site from scratch, so that's what we've been doing, which is cool. I think it was a cool learning experience, and he's taught me a lot with that as well. Yeah, yeah. The self promoting channels usually don't get too much attraction, especially from people who like aren't like. So if you're active in the community, people are going to respond. So like, I mean, for any like, I'd say like, I mean, because it's, I guess because it's my server and I'm like pretty active on it. If I were to post something, I would get responses because I'm a familiar face. But you know, if someone has never like, if someone just joins the server and then posts a promo link, I would say 99% of the time they're not going to get any attraction. Or like there are even some people who just promote their game and they never get any attraction either because like that's literally all they do. It's the same thing with like game jams and stuff. Like if you join a game jam and all you do is just like talk about your own game, don't expect too many responses from people because like, yeah, I think even though game jams are meant for like, you know, testing your ability to make a game, it's also like a, you know, community social event. And yeah, you're trying to socialize with other game devs, share your experiences, help other people. Like if you give back to a community, the community will give back to you. Obviously, there are some cases if your game is like really good and like it's so impressive, and then some people see your game, they might give you some of that attention. Like this game. This game is so good. I'm kidding. I think we're trying to think what else we could do. Like I've been polishing for what, like the past 3 hours now, and I think we've got so much done. Add dead mouse. I don't think I'm gonna add a dead zone, but we are going to optimize the mouse input, like and sensitivity. I think we'll do that tomorrow. One thing that we do need to do for our gameplay is actually add. We want to make sure that we capture the mouse. Me 6 capture mouse. I mean, this should be simple. I'm gonna add it just in case we're not able to do it in like 2 seconds. What is dead zone? Dead zone is like, you know, on your controller, an analog stick it's not digital, right? So it's like your analog stick is always sending information to your computer. So like right now, even though it's like centered, it's not on 0, 0. It might be on like 0. Like it might be on, like if this is an X and Y axis on your controller, it's like 0.023457. You know, like a really random number. And then same with the Y axis, it'll be like 0.234767, whatever. A dead zone, you want to make sure that it's like above like zero point 0.2 or something. That way, if someone, a lot of the time, if you use a controller for a long period of time, it might be a little offset, and you want to make sure that the dead zone is like greater for certain people. So like, you might want to press the right analog stick like all the way to the right before you actually get input, or before you send input to the game. It's not too important at the moment, but it is important like later on, if you want like more responsiveness from the player, or for like the gameplay. And welcome, Randy. Sold the villa. That's how you pronounce your name. People, thank you, Juho. Appreciate it, man. Only if you guys want to wishlist the game. I don't want to, you know, shove it down anyone's esophagus. Don't know how to make that not sound weird. All right. So yeah, let's actually fix the mouse capture. So this is in our mouse indicator. Oh, we actually don't have this saved as a scene. It's a child of our player here. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I think this might be making our game lag. there's just too many. There's just too much input being registered here. Also, yeah, we'll fix this with time. There's a way more efficient way to write this. This is basically grabbing the mouse centered input. We're comparing our player's mouse position to the center of the screen. The issue with this was that it was we're using a viewport in our game, and we're using two viewports, and then we also have to consider the size of the screen. So like we have all of these calculations. I think there's a better way to go about it. And I think Chev, you guys have probably seen Chev around. He sent me some code for it, so we'll try fixing it. Probably tomorrow or something. But yeah, let's look at mouse captured. We actually, oh yeah, set mouse uncentered, mouse centered. I think what we're going to do in our ready function, we should always have our mouse confined. So let's do that now. Honestly, we could leave confined here. Let's see if this works. Let me just look at our global function really quick. Remember, you once said you did something with graphic design or UX slash UI slash UX design. Not sure if that's right. So I did web development for a little bit. I mean, I still do it, but not. I haven't done too much freelance work lately. But that's because I just don't find it fun, and the pay is just not nearly as good as I would like for it to be. If I invested like the amount of time that I would have to invest into it. To make it like a successful business would be similar to how much I do for this game, which is like, yeah, that would be like the second job. Thank you, Randy. Love you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's just. I mean, I've been working on this game for like 2 years now, so like obviously it's going to like for someone who's never seen it before, like it's going to look complicated, or there's going to be a lot of stuff, but like, you know, it's my work, so it's like this is like every programmer is going to be different, and so like looking at like this is how my brain works, you know what I mean? Like this is my logic towards how the code works, so like it all makes sense to me, but like even when I look at other people's code, like I hate looking at other people's code because it just confuses the hell out of me. Did I teach myself? I mean, I learned programming in high school, like early high school, and that was like from, you know, an academic environment. But like learning GDScript, yeah, I guess I taught myself that. Or I mean, I watched YouTube videos and stuff like that. At this point, I don't really watch tutorials. Like if I ever have a problem, I just look through the docs. But yeah, from time to time, like when I was looking up the player key binding settings, that's something that I watched a tutorial for that. Or actually, I didn't even watch the tutorial. I barely watched the tutorial. I actually just downloaded his source code, and yeah, just implemented it into my game. So I think it should work now. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So now our mouse will never leave the screen. That was an issue before. And if we hide the screen, we just see center mouse. It shouldn't be a problem, but no, it's not a problem. Okay. Oh, it technically is if you're like forcing it out. Like if you try your best to get the mouse out, you could, but usually it shouldn't happen. But another issue is that now, oh, whoa, there is an issue now. My mouse is like stuck. We'll have to figure out, like, I guess if you exit the window, if the window is alt tabbed, we need to make sure that mouse confined isn't running, or follow, or like center the mouse is set to false, because that could mess up our game. Do I also make the graphics? No, I don't make any of the graphics. For the most part, like it really depends. So like, here, if we go into the game, I'll do minor changes. I'm like, pixel art is the most I'll ever do. So here, I'll show an example. Like, I did work with this a little bit. I did edit the UI for this, or like, I made these buttons. I mean, it's basically just a 8x8 box, that's added to a like this dynamic texture here. Oh, and I did make these check boxes as well. These little X's here, I made that. That's as far as it'll go. This tile map also, actually, I did work on the tile map a bit. But yeah, usually it's like edited resources or bought resources. So like, I commissioned all of these backgrounds. The player someone helped me with, but I've edited it as well. Let me see what else. This little texture, when you go in between doors, like this thing right here. Minor things. Oh, I do need to change these spikes. But yeah, all of this was paid for. Oh, I also procedurally generated the background, so you can see these tiles. You might have been there for that stream, but yeah. I mean, it's very basic stuff, so I'll make like these basic backgrounds, and I'll procedurally place them. So yeah, the game is basically fully polished, but it's not optimized at the moment. The one thing that we need to work on is like things that are reiterated for like an extended period of time. So like one thing that we have in our game that's always running that can make the game lag if you don't have like a powerful GPU is this right here. We're always placing this, and we're also running this in the physics process. We're always placing a new tile, and these are sprites. So yeah, we need to make sure that we get rid of this. It's good for debugging, but it shouldn't be running unless you have it active. And also, if you press P on this right now, if you run the game for a long period of time and press P, it will lag the game as well. So yeah, we need to make sure that that gets fixed. Do I have a color palette for the game? Yeah, I think I just got a random color palette from low spec. Low spec, you might have heard of that website if you're like into pixel art. I think I did edit it a little bit because we do have shaders running in the game, and then we also have like a canvas modulate. So like you can see like this light node. We have a light mask on our game, and then our light nodes basically expose some of the true color. But for things like this, like the tile map or like important objects in our game, don't have any mask on them. Or we just ignore the mask for those. Oh. So, whoa. So what is going on here? That was something I've never seen before, and I don't even know how we did that. Glow bloom effect. So I did have some effects. So we do have some particles in our game. I did have glow effects, and I did have some shaders running in the game before. It did make the game lag slightly on lower spec PCs. So yeah, that's why. Whoa, what is going on here? Let me see. Yeah, we are disappearing. Let me see something. I've never seen that happen before. But it's happening right there. Let me see. Yeah, I found a bug. Wait. And now it's not happening. Oh, you know what it is? I think I figured it out. So we recently added that new function for moving the player. Like you can see here, let's see. Basically, we had this issue with the slide state. So how entering the slide state works is we have like these arrows right here, and the raycast checks the distance between the wall and the player. if that distance is greater than 4 pixels, we push the player forward a bit. But right now what's happening is this raycast right here is checking for collision. This distance between a wall, I would assume is, I mean, it's technically 0, so we're pushing the player like a negative distance. And I'm assuming what's happening is we're teleporting to the left like a crazy distance. So what we'll have to do is actually make sure, we'll have to check for collision both on this raycast and this raycast, or maybe even all 3 of these raycasts we'll want to check for collision with. So let's do that right now. So yeah, it's not the platform, it's mainly, here, we can run it one more time, just to make sure. Let's try to recreate. Oh, what is this? Place record tile. Place. Oh yeah, we don't want to run this here. Let me open our world demo really quick. We'll throw them. Well, it happened here, so let's do it here. Oh, welcome back, Skull and Adam. What have you guys missed? You guys have missed a game-breaking bug. That's what's happening. Well, that's what's currently happening. So, I'll show it to you in just a second. Let me switch to my controller, actually. So, okay, wow, look at that. So yeah, that why we're teleporting, I mean, I think you were there, Skull. You might have been there when I was coding the wall thing. But yeah, the distance, when we enter the slide state, if we don't touch it, if we don't touch the middle raycast, that distance is basically set to 0, and we're pushing our player. Apparently, we're pushing our player. I thought it would only be like 4 pixels, which is weird. I don't know why it's actually that high. I guess because we're not entering the slide state. I don't know, but there definitely is a problem there. But we'll fix it right now. Let's go back into our player. What is that? I think it's called readjust. What do we call it? Place? Adjust player distance. Okay. Yeah, so for adjust player distance, if we're next to the left wall or next to the right wall, we check for the middle raycast, but we should be checking for all raycasts. So maybe we don't want to check for next to right wall. We'll want to check if our right middle raycast node is doing anything. But the only issue is that, yeah, I think we would want to use all of our raycasts. I think if we just use the right middle raycast, it would prevent that bug from happening, but then we wouldn't be able to adjust the player's distance if they were to jump onto like a small platform. Yeah, you resolve a problem and sadly it makes other problems. But this one is not, it's not too hard, it's a matter of figuring out, like, do we want to like put a bunch of calculations into this small trivial thing? That's the real question. So Adam, I will try my best to explain what's happening. Give me 1 second. Okay, so basically, when we enter whoa, okay, yeah. So we've always been checking it up here, and it's perfect here, but going from down here, it's going to be a problem. Unless we start from the bottom here. Like, as long as we're not touching if we touch the bottom raycast right here, then that teleportation is going to happen where we try. Well, we know the problem exists, and I think it'll happen on the right side too. Yeah, it does. So let's try doing this. Honestly, maybe we should just check for all of them. Depending on which one is colliding, we'll just grab that raycast. I don't think it matters which one, so maybe we'll do like a match statement. We'll say we'll iterate through all of them, and whichever first one is colliding, we'll run that function on that collision. So let's do this. If next to right wall, we will grab. Let's do this. Func current raycast. Oh, sorry. Whoops. Var current raycast is equal to null, and we'll say, let's get rid of this. We'll say var. About this. How do we want to iterate through this? We want to grab all of our raycasts, so we'll say. We could say right wall raycast or right middle raycast. So if any of these are colliding, we're going to set our current raycast to equal this raycast right here. And then instead of checking the distance, we'll say current raycast. And that should fix it. And then we just want to do the same exact thing, but for the left side. So let's do that. Honestly, I'll just copy. Let's just copy this. But we'll want to say left middle raycast instead for everything. So if left. Left, 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 left. I think we are good now. And let's just say this current raycast is, for now we'll just say, let's just say null. Oh, and let's also make sure, yeah, we can leave this the way it is. Have I ever made a 3D game? I hear it's the most complicated thing in Godot because you have to learn so much math-related stuff. I haven't tried 3D Godot. I've tried making a 3D. Well, the only time I've made a 3D game was when I was in high school with Unity. All right, so that bug shouldn't happen anymore. good now. Wow, that gave me a mini heart attack when I saw that. It's like almost embarrassing. Like how dare I have a bug in my game? I'm better than that. How do you manage your game scripts? Do you keep them in separate folders, or are they put together with the sprite files? So how I have it organized is based on the scene. So like the scene will share the same script. I mean the file for the script will share the same file for the scene. So like my player, for example, players is probably saved into the entity folder. So you can see, and oh, you guys can't see it. Let's bring this up a little bit. So yeah, you can see if I search up player, you guys still can't see. Oh, there we go. So yeah, player is saved in entities, and inside entities, like let's say there's player 2, player2.gd, player 3, player3.gd, and that's usually how I have it set up. Take a break. The thing is, you know, Waffle, once you start enjoying, you know, like if you want to pursue game dev, it shouldn't feel like work. You know what I mean? Making video games should feel like playing video games, if that makes sense. You know, it should be fun. And I'm having fun. I'm also having fun talking to you guys. I would love to stream forever and ever. No, I'm kidding. Eventually I will take a break. I think we're just on a roll at the moment. Like I keep finding new things to update the game with. It feels good that we're making all this progress today. I should be working on my Kickstarter page, but I like to ignore my problems until the very last minute. Game dev equals bad. I mean, I guess, I don't know. If you would say game dev, oh, was that another bug? Look at that. Let's see. So, if you would say video games are bad, like I guess it depends on your perception of video games and like how you play video games, because like there's an unhealthy amount of gameplay, and then there's a, you know, that's how you see video games. I think for the majority of the time, you know, people get addicted to games, which could be bad, but I feel like, I don't know if this is my ego talking, but I feel like my game has this oh wait, let me just see one more thing. Oops. Because I feel like games could be like reading a book, you know, or like watching a movie. If it has some sort of issue with it, I mean, if it has like a moral to it, or there's like a story to it, it's just like reading a book. Just see something. I wonder if this messes up our fudging. It just might, actually. I'm trying to test it out here. Oh no, it's fine. It's because we're still in the dash state. The player, that whole adjust player position only runs once, and it runs in the slide state. So you already have to be in the slide state for it to actually play. Oh, but this could mess us up too. Let's see. No, it doesn't. I have an RTX 1070. Is that what it's called? Let's see. You see it when I run the game. It's like in our GTX 1070. All right. So we're done with our bugs. there is one other bug that it's so hard sometimes because there's like there are like these small edge cases that I can't really replicate until I see them, or until I can like repeat them over and over again. So like sometimes you might see that we're doing wall jumps and like the input change, like I don't even know what's happening here. Also, let me see something. Am I still running Windows 10? Yes, I'm still running Windows 10. I'm actually afraid to run Windows 11. So, yeah, I should play with keyboard and mouse just in case. I think we'll find more bugs using keyboard and mouse, since I think the majority of players are going to be using keyboard and mouse. So let's see. There's something with our walls, and sometimes we get coyote jumps here. Maybe when we dash. No, it seems like it's fine here. The game is so loud. There you go. Now you don't hear anything. You know what it is? When I stream, it doesn't grab like my main volume. Like right now, I'm messing with the volume. You guys don't see that variation, or you don't hear that variation. It just grabs whatever sound is coming into my computer. So I have to like realize that sometimes. Yeah, that's my issue with upgrading, is that like, well, one, some programs might not work, and then two, it's just harder on the CPU. Like it's built for the newest PC, right? So obviously there's going to be more usage, and I mean that's usually what they do with games, or I mean usually they do with programs. I mean in games too, right? They have less of an excuse to be efficient. Right? I mean, even with my game, like there are things that are inefficient with the game, but because I don't need to worry about being efficient, I just don't. Which I mean, it kind of teaches bad practices, but I do know how to be efficient. It's just that like, do you want to release a game fast, or do you want to take your time and make it as efficient as possible, where it doesn't really matter too much if every single PC is running, if everyone is like, for example, if everyone is running a GTX 1080 or 1070 or whatever, like you don't have to worry about certain things. But then if someone who has a low spec computer tries to run the game, they can't. And that's actually an issue that I have. But I know why it's something that I added recently to the game that's like causing some inefficiencies, or causing a frame rate drop. So we can actually see our frame rate. We do cap it at 60. Where is it? Debug? No, display stats. Oh wait, no, we don't show FPS. Oh, it's in debug. Yeah, there we go. You can see 60 right there. I will be right back. I have to use the bathroom. Imagine the low end is going to be 1080 GTX. So I mean, I'm running on a 1070, and it's crazy. Like I'll play games, and it's crazy that the 1070 is considered to be low end now.
But I know people who don't even have, like, a lot of people are using laptops with integrated GPUs and stuff like that, like, you know, using their CPU for graphics. And so Waffle, you might, I don't know if you play, like, if you go into debug and show your FPS, I wonder if you actually hit 60 with this version of the game, because yeah, I think the mouse settings is what's like taking a toll on the FPS, because it's just too hard on the CPU, I think. And then, you know, you're managing the graphics as well. There might be some other issues, but yeah, I have a bunch of commits. So when I go back to I'm running it on Linux. So my other laptop, I can even show you guys what it looks like. But give me one second. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's crazy. My laptop was, so I have a 1070 right now, GTX 1070, and I bought this laptop at I think it was like 1900. Let me see how much my laptop goes for now. Alienware. I think it was 17R4. That's what it's called. But they also have a new version of it. So yeah, this is the new version. I think it was from 2016. Wait, no way. There's no way someone is selling this for 1,500. You can literally buy a modern version of this for cheaper. I think this is closer to a deal like 500 would be the price. Oh wait, this is... This is 2018, but this looks like my laptop. Oh, this is even a 1060. But yeah, you could find a similar price if it's. So I paid 1,900 for this, but I paid for it in 2016. Now you can see it's 530. But even if you look at like how much it costs. Oh, actually, well, it's kind of unfair to compare the prices, like, relative, like, because of the whole crypto mining thing. Like, GPUs were, like, through the roof. But, let me see. GTX 1070 is, like, super cheap now. Like, let's see, versus, what was it? RTX say 370. So yeah, like you can get it for like $200 now. I mean, and this is probably new. You can probably find it even cheaper now. Because like anyone who sells this has probably used it for mining or something. Like you could probably find it 1070 for like $50 if you really searched on the internet. So this is your laptop here. Oops. It's not much of a game dev stream anymore, it seems. We'll get back into it. Inspirion. Oh, Inspirion. Inspiron? Inspirion? So this is probably not even a gaming laptop, right? Or is it? Doesn't seem like it's not marketed as one. 12th gen Intel. Yeah. So it uses integrated graphics card. Yeah, dude, I remember when I first got this laptop and like I was hanging out with all my friends and like they were like, "Oh, dude, you have like out of all my friends when I first bought it, I had like the most powerful laptop." And it was a laptop too, Like most people, build their PCs. So it was like high end, but it was also a high end laptop. So it felt cool. It's also really big and bulky. It's like 9 pounds. It's crazy. Like if you just wait, like as long as you're not in a rush to like play all the modern games, you literally get everything. Like if you live 5 years in the past, so you play all the games that came out, or like all the AAA games that came out 5 years ago, and you have a PC that's always like 5 years behind schedule, you are set. Like you can live on like a really cheap build for the rest of your life. You just get the scraps of everyone else. It's not even like it's literally just a 5 years difference, and all of these things are like things just become so much better. But honestly, I feel like the upgrade that I made from like I don't even remember my old GPU, but from that to the 1070 was like the biggest like leap in graphics that I ever had. Can I check this before I go back into game dev? Let's see what this video is. Oh, I already know it. Nice. Got him. So yeah, even I want to see like people on Reddit are also selling GPUs for relatively cheap. So like you can find like a 1070 for like 300 to 350, I think. My friend sent me like a bunch of links. If you guys are ever interested in buying hardware and stuff, here, let me see if I can find this link. It's called. So there's one subreddit called Hardware Swap r/hardware swap. That one's pretty good. Here, let me click on that link actually. So people will sell like a bunch of their stuff here. As you can see, we're not in dark mode at the moment because I'm on a guest account, but yeah, you can find a bunch of stuff here. Another thing, oh yeah, this was the deal that my friend sent me. Yeah, like a 3070 for what? How much is he selling it for? $350. It's pretty pretty good deal. He's probably mined on it though, like that's the only issue, I guess. But I mean, if you're cool with getting something that someone mined with, usually there aren't any problems with it unless you're like hoping to like keep it for a very long time, preserve it. But usually, people who are mining are like pretty self-conscious about like they do want to preserve the GPU for as long as possible. But yeah, there's hardware swap, and there's also if you want something that's brand new and like up to date. I mean, you'll find stuff that are also like old, but at least they weren't used. Was he sent me another link? Let me see. It wasn't hardware swap. It was build AP sales. Let's see what this is. This build AP. Oh, build a PC sales. I'm dumb. So yeah, these are some things you can get from there as well. But yeah, that was the PC builds part of the stream. Now let's get back into the indie game dev part of the stream / frustrating bug fixing part. Just make sure I didn't miss any messages. Yeah, you can find some secondhand stuff. Ideally, if you can find secondhand stuff. Yeah. Programming in Scratch and straight up broken. I had the reverse roles of cos and sine, so my brain was broken until logically swapped them around. Yeah, I usually have issues with like trigonometry as well. I think trigonometry is probably the most. I don't know if it's the most useful, but it is pretty useful in game dev. It's like wrapping your head around that will help. All right, let's actually look at some of the other bugs that we have, and I'm also going to go onto Trello really quick because I think I might have added some other bugs maybe to that page. So yeah, we do have to rewrite animations. Some of our animations are a little wacky. Key bindings plus Xbox. We've finished this. So let's say maybe like. Call this green because it's done. Polish entire UI. We finished this as well. Sound settings for effects. Technically, we did this, so I'll put this as orange because we can make some or yellow. Make some fixes for that. See our bugs. Why can't I scroll here? Margin, we fixed this. Dash spam issue. I think someone mentioned this bug, but I think we fixed this issue. Indicator reference on exit tree. I'm pretty sure we fixed this. I'm gonna leave it as yellow just in case. Frame rate issue with lower spec PC. This is something that most definitely we need to fix. Stretch goals. Add dead zone for controller read. Didn't have out mouse sensitivity. We don't have, and collectibles. So yeah, I think these are the most two important things that we have to work on now: the collectibles and rewrite animations. I don't know what I want to work on. I think we might work on rewriting animations. That sounds like fun. Collectibles is easy, but it's not going to be fun. So what's the target? I don't have. So I was thinking 20,000 as like my target. But I do plan on adding like stretch goals and stuff like that. So yeah, 20,000 was the base game. Speedrun mode I think is also going to be part of the base game, so maybe I'll include that, but maybe I'll put 25 here. We'll see. I do plan on adding it, so it's not like an issue. Also 25 for integrating speedrun is like definitely like overpriced. Like I don't have like it's not going to cost that much. I can literally do that maybe in like 2 or 3 days, and it requires no real assets. 30,000 for alternative endings. This would be so I want to add like cinematics and stuff like that. 35 for the Nintendo Switch port. I haven't done any research on it, but I know it's going to cost like around 5,000. And then 45,000. I would love to add like a bunch of cinematics to the game, and that's going to be heavy, like in pricing. So that's like the least like the thing that I'm going to prioritize the least. But if we could do that, I would love to add cinematics. Like actual animations and like not pixel art animations, but like a little clip of like hand-drawn art or hand-drawn animations would be very cool. And then trying to think. Yeah. So that's my goal at the moment. I do plan on adding like more information here. So like I do want to add like what is going to be part of the base game. Yeah, like a cutscene. Damn, my screen is so bright. Yeah, that is that. And then there's like pledge tiers that I'm working on too. If you guys are interested in this, I don't want to seem like I'm trying to promote what the Kickstarter is going to look like. It's just like information that I'm writing about the game or like how it's going to be set up. And I'm probably going to make like a what's it called? Like a freaking postmortem. I mean, it's not really is it considered a postmortem if the game is regardless of how the game turns out or the Kickstarter turns out, I'm going to write a postmortem on like how all of this stuff happened, just to share like my experience with it. Hopefully it's a successful Kickstarter and I can make a YouTube video on how it was successful. Otherwise it'll be a YouTube video on how it was ran to the ground. But even if the stretch goals aren't met, I still think we can reach like the base game will be created no matter what. It's just that there are going to be a lot of shortcuts made. So like instead of like 5 chapters or 7 chapters, it might be 4 chapters or 5 chapters. Like a short amount of chapters, and then depending on the sales made from the Steam like purchases and stuff like that, I would build on the game again, or I might start a new project. Who knows? I would love to keep working on this project, but we don't know until it's ran. Alrighty. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, let's start working on rewriting animations. Before we do anything, let me just let's add this to our GitHub. This is what we did some bug fixing, but we also added the readjust player position on climb. Alrighty. Alright, let's see how long we've been streaming really quick, and then we'll get back to it. I'm just curious. I feel like I've been here for a hot minute. Really quick, and then 3 hours. That's usually around the time that I end, but we're gonna keep working. Cinematics, to be honest, sound scary to implement, probably because I've never worked with cinematics. Probably they're not. So in terms of like implementation shouldn't be that hard. It's literally just creating a new scene and like just adding a video to it. The hard part is actually hiring an animator and being satisfied with the amount of work. Like the thing is, like right now, most of my budget has been relatively cheap. Like I've been managing. I think I've spent less than. I most definitely have spent less than $1,000 on this game. I mean, how you calculate time would be a different thing. Like I've spent, 2 years working on this game, so that's a lot of time. But in terms of like actual money spent on this game, it's less than 1,000. So it's like it's been created on a pretty low budget. But if you have such a high budget, then like the risk versus reward becomes a lot like it just changes, because now you have to put money into something, or like you're responsible for putting money into something and actually making it good. Yeah, that would be cool, Waffle. I don't want to expect anything from anyone, just because like I want this to be professionally done. But yeah, that's why like it's hard for me to accept work from people, especially like free work, because it usually doesn't turn out well. Just from my experience, like business arrangements, or like I've had issues in the past where someone helped me with this game, and then I hired someone, and then after I hired someone, that person had issues with me working with them. I don't know why. Like I would assume maybe they had issues because I hired them, or like they were working for free, and then I hired someone who I was paying. And I mean, yeah, that could cause issues, but I don't really know what the problem was, like entirely what the problem was, because they didn't really communicate that with me. But yeah, so it's always like sticky when it comes to like business agreements, especially for something that something that I care about. Have I thought about getting an investor? So yeah, I have contacted publishers. So far I've been denied, but I haven't shown them. I've never shown a publisher this version of the game, so I don't know. But the best thing you want to do if you are making your own Kickstarter is if you want to get a publisher or an investor, what you want to do is actually create a Kickstarter that grabs a lot of traction from people, and then show that to potential investors or potential publishers, and it just gives you more authority, more credibility, and stuff like that. You could go either way but the thing is, if a publisher contacts you first, depending on your agreement, they have more leverage over you, because if you have nothing to show, if you don't have an audience, if you don't have money, then they're going to say that. They might give you more money, but they also it's more of a risk for them, so they're going to ask for a higher percentage of your income. Best thing you can do with a publisher is actually have them. If your game is already developed, what you want to do is have them invest on the marketing aspect of your game. So that's like all of the campaigns related to like putting ads out there, contacting communities, stuff like that. That should all be done by a it shouldn't all be done, but like if you wanted to have a relationship with a publisher, that's usually what they do, or that's usually what they're most comfortable with doing, because that's what they invest their time into. And because there's so many game devs out there, usually you want to have a fully developed game before you actually contact the publisher. There are other publishers that will work with an alpha or beta game, but ideally they want a fully developed game to invest into. All right, I'm talking too much. Let me get into our animation player. So, how are our animations played? I think this is done in our physics process. Let me just make sure. Player animation, right in our physics process. Damn, my lips are dry. I feel like winter air is getting dry. I'm drinking so much tea lately, and yet My lips still get super dry. Like I'm hydrated, but I guess that doesn't mean anything for your lips. You were one of the first people to join the server? Yeah. The server is pretty. I still think the server is still relatively small. I guess because compared to like solo development is like so. I mean, we have like thousands of members compared to um, freaking. Yeah, we have thousands of members, and comparing that to memory, it's like super small. But yeah, we have. Let's see. How the hell do I see the members? 72 people. It's not too bad. Would I accept your offer? Waffles. I don't need another server. Eventually, maybe there'd be some adjustments made to the server, but I don't think it's necessary at the moment. All right, let's look at this player animation. So yeah, we're using new animation tree inside of our animation player. Currently, what we do is in our animation player, which is actually kind of weird, our last direction is determined by our player animation, which is kind of weird. And then same with our slide. But this only sets the player scale. Whoops. The quality of people on the server is better than the quantity. Yeah, for sure, Skull. That's definitely true. Even with the solo development server, like I remember when it was really small, and I always wanted it to be bigger just because like I just wanted to see it grow. But I actually liked it when it was really small because like it felt more like a family. You know, people were like close, they were sharing their progress, stuff like that. I mean, that's like kind of what like memory is now, or the memory server is now. And eventually, if it does become like really big, it loses that sense of like, I don't know, like togetherness, because like there's just so many people sharing or talking, and it, like, you know, that overabundance makes everything seem, I don't know the correct vocabulary to use for it, but yeah, it loses some of its significance. Yeah, when you're on a server with a lot of people, some of the veterans in a server will be rude because they're sick of like, you know, they're sick of people like maybe asking too many questions, or they come in, they just promote their work and then they leave, you know, that sort of deal. Or like, the best thing to do if you want to be part of a community is to, like, give back to the community and then give to the community and then receive from the community. That's how it works best. What engine are you? We're using. Are you using Godot or are you using sorry, Unity? I forgot already. Alright, so for player animation, I'm gonna comment out a new animation tree for a split second just to see if anything bugs out here. So yeah, right now nothing is played. We're stuck in the idle animation. I guess in our ready function we set the idle animation to play. So what we're and we switched to the climb animation for some reason. This maybe I don't know if we're using the animation tree to run this. That's funny. It looks funny. All right, let's look into this. Animation tree. Change animation state. Oh, okay. So we have this change animation tree function that's running on enter state. We're going to comment it out for now. Let's see where else. Okay, so that's the only time. Let's run this one more time. See if our animations change at all. The only thing that should change is the player scale. So like, yeah, we should be rotating correctly here. And then entering the slide should be. Oh, okay. So there's one bug. It seems. Later. Have you joined the solo development server? You might have better luck there. With people helping out. Honestly, I'm thinking about this now. I might save this for another stream. I might stream later tonight. We'll see. It has been a hot minute, and I do feel myself losing motivation at the moment. But it would be like great for the next stream. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we're gonna end it here. Trying to think. Is Coyote Jump just that can happen after a few pixels after you go off the platform? Yeah, basically, that is Coyote Jump. So Coyote Jump is, how I have it set up, is just a timer that's running, and basically it checks for the last time you've been on the platform. So like right now, I could jump here, but I could also, if I move off the platform and I press space again, not like that. Right here, you can see that I'm able to jump. Even though we're already off the platform, I can jump while I'm off the platform. And that's Coyote Jump. Same thing, you might have this, there's also like jump input. So like, I'll press jump before I actually hit the ground and it'll still register that input. And that's like, it's kind of like reverse Coyote Jump. For people that, press the jump button a little too early, or something like that. But yeah, that's that. But alrighty, fellas, I will head out now. I will see you next time. Maybe later today. It's 5 p.m. right now. I might stream at like 9 or 10, depending on how I feel. But yeah, goodbye, people. I'll leave the stream ending little thing, but yeah, I'm probably gonna be AFK.